Hello, Fire Tenders Group 5. I thought it'd be helpful from some of the responses I saw from the invite for the intensive. It seemed like most of you guys are on board with it, and there may be some curiosity of the value of an intensive and what it really means for groups and how it is a cornerstone for moving forward as a fire tenders group, or that's been the history of it. So I invited Jordan to hop on Zoom with me today to see if we could, bring some life to this invite, so you know what we're speaking about, and why it's feels so much. Uh, it has so much heart for me as far as the basis and cornerstone for the fire tenders work. So, um, Jordan, I think it'd be helpful if you shared your experience as a participant and after
Mhm.
being in fire tenders for a few years of what the intensive meant for you coming in.
Uh, sure. I mean, for me, this was the front door, as has been for most groups that they start off with an intensive. Because I noticed when I first walked into the year, I had never done any fire tenders work. I didn't even know who you were. I just got to have a one-on-one with you and was moved in the work and the deep processing, the narrow and deep heart-centered work. And I was so ready for the weekend. I didn't know what it was going to include. I will say that what I got from that experience was a different kind of transformation, a different sense of brotherhood, and it coalesced our group in such a way. I still, after years of meeting together, I look forward to so much that evening that I get to spend with my brothers who I went through this journey with. The 8-week elemental training is fantastic, and it's really container building, and it really gets us present to the tenets. I really enjoyed that process as well. And I think the intensive, though, is the most memorable experience I can think of in the last 5 years, right up there next to the threshold journey, because of how close I felt to myself and to my brothers. And it was as though we became one. And I had not had that experience before in my life with a group, probably since I was like a child. So that for me was the thing that stuck. And yeah, I'm like just moved remembering that. So um, I can't imagine having done the last 3 years not having had that experience. It would have made my last 3 years, I'm imagining, very different in terms of the connection that I had to myself and with my brothers. So that's why it's important to me.
Awesome. Yeah, that's certainly been my intention from the beginning of starting fire tenders and starting with an intensive is that narrow and deep process that you spoke about. And I imagine you've all had experiences of that kind of depth work, whether it's with a therapist or a medicine journey or a meditation retreat. But that level of it's really a non-ordinary state of consciousness that we get to enter when we're doing that kind of deep work. Um, so imagine getting to do that and having allies that are with you in that state of being where so much can change so quickly. And I think the what's so powerful about it is there's a dynamic in a group. And I think what's even going to be more powerful about it with your group, this is a unique opportunity because we've never done it with an existing group after.
Right.
We had to do
Yeah.
it that way this year because of COVID, but usually we start with the intensive, then we do the 8 weeks. But this is a little different. You guys have already cohesed in a way and are already solid. So I'm imagining that even going deeper. But when you have a group and the containers held, then the depth of the work is pretty profound, and that's why I love doing this kind of depth work, because I'll do in the in the intensive, I do a one-on-one session with each of you throughout the 3 days, and then we do other exercises and symbolic work inside and outside the yurt. But the depth work is me doing a somatic Hakomi session with each of you while everybody else is in circle with you. And I'm utilizing the whole group to support your process. So that's why it ends up being so powerful, that the whole group is supporting the individual in their work. Um, and then that level of vulnerability just leads to even more trust and strength and honor between each other, I think.
Yeah. Really well said. I think a couple other quick logistics to bake in here. We are shooting for July 9th, 10th, 11th. So we've got a few months for people to put it on their calendars. There will be other men who are wanting to enter fire tenders, who are, knocking on the door to really, they want to get into a group, and they want to get into a group powerfully by going through this process. So we're doing this. We are going to honor the 2020 prices. So we had intended on doing this obviously before COVID. The prices have gone up this year. So in Colorado, when we're doing an intensive, it's going to be a higher price point. We are going to honor the 2020 prices for your guys' group. So instead of $750, it's only $550. So it's $550 for this group. And other logistics that are important, Timothy?
I just think the other piece is that every fire tender member and all the other groups have gone through this intensive. And so this is
That's right. We do have you need to do an intensive within a year of joining a group. That's the agreement. And I don't know how explicit we did or didn't make that during the 8-week training. I hope that we did say that, and it probably is in writing somewhere, but I do want to name it's either this or a threshold journey, because we want you guys to get the full experience. And we know that it makes a difference.
Yeah, that level of depth somatic work is at the foundation of our work together. And then your ongoing group really integrates that work. So I think that's everything. It also includes, like Jordan said, it includes a pre-intensive one-on-one session with me as a primer right before the weekend. So you come in already alive with some work that you're living with, that then builds on what you did one-on-one with me.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll say that's good, and we're happy to answer questions.
Absolutely. And you can ask Damien on Sunday as well. All right, guys. Cool. Lots of love.